Thank you for joining us here on KVUE Plus. We are bringing you special coverage of breaking news we've been following for the past hour or so from the Steiner Ranch area near Lake Travis.
Now, according to the Travis County Sheriff's Office, a deputy was involved in a shooting in the parking lot of a Randall's grocery store just off FM 620. Investigators right now giving us more details. Let's take a listen into this press conference.
All right. At approximately 10 minutes after 9 a.m. this morning, our dispatch received a call from Austin Police Department advising us that they were tracking a stolen vehicle that may make its way into our jurisdiction. So we were looking out for that vehicle. At about 9:30, one of our deputies encountered that vehicle in this parking lot. What happened after that is under investigation. But what we know for certain is that at least one shot was fired. The suspect was injured. The suspect is in a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, and our investigation is underway. The deputy who was involved is not harmed, and we will be spending the next several hours looking at the evidence and working out what happened here. Because this was an incident, a shooting that involved a TCSO deputy, the Texas Rangers are here, and they will take lead on this investigation. Our Criminal Investigations Division is here. They will work alongside them, and we'll work it in tandem to make sure that we are covering all the bases involved in a situation that has a deputy that may have fired a weapon. Do y'all have any questions for me?
I guess, so this came from a report, is from a stolen vehicle, and y'all got
So this would be the Austin Police Department notifying us that they were tracking a stolen vehicle that was probably going to move into our jurisdiction. And so we were already looking for it. And I'm sure that additional information came in, but I don't have those details at this time. But the bottom line is that the deputy was able to encounter the vehicle.
How common is that y'all get one of these alerts looking for a stolen vehicle and you're actually able to find it like this quickly?
Unfortunately, vehicle theft is common, and we work hand in hand with all the municipalities in our jurisdiction. So we get notifications like this pretty routinely, and we do encounter the vehicles, and we're oftentimes able to make that stop.
Then shots, was the shot ever fired at the deputy or from the suspect?
All of that is under investigation right now. As you can tell behind me, everything is active and it's in its earliest stages. So right now we don't make any assumptions at all. In fact, we collect information from the people involved, but we wait and allow the evidence and everything that we can look at to paint the picture of what actually happened. So what I know as fact is at least one gunshot happened. We have a suspect who is injured, non-life-threatening. As to who shot the weapon, which weapon it was, what the circumstances were surrounding it, that's what the investigation is going to reveal.
So we don't yet know if the suspect was even armed?
We don't know for certain who had what gun was fired. So we'll conduct this investigation to determine that. That's why at this time I'm not referring to it as an officer-involved shooting. I'm referring to it as a shooting involving one of our officers. Because at this point in time, I can't say for a fact that that deputy was even the one who fired a weapon.
Is there a protocol or a form to follow when there's a stolen vehicle alert, and how does it escalate from keep an eye out for this vehicle to shots being fired in a public area in a gas station like this?
I'm not familiar with all of the protocols involved, and as you can imagine, every case is different. But when we have a fellow law enforcement agency that lets us know that a stolen vehicle may be coming into our jurisdiction, then our deputies get the information about the vehicle and keep an eye out for it. And that's what happened in this case. And this deputy was able to encounter the vehicle.
And there was only one suspect in the vehicle? There was no other suspects, just the one who...
I don't have that for certain at this time.
Okay. So
but the main thing I guess is the officer is okay?
Yes, the officer is okay. The officers dash cam, body cam, everything associated with it will be reviewed. The deputy will be interviewed, as will others who were witnessing it. Of course, this is an area that has surveillance cameras, so of course there's a lot of elements to collect. There's going to be plenty of evidence to look at, and that will paint the picture of what exactly happened here today.
It's such a crowded place. I mean, the gas station Randall's was clearly open at 9-ish this morning. Was there ever any threat to anybody else or to the public in this situation?
It's my understanding that the incident happened very, very quickly, within a matter of minutes, quickly. And once the incident occurred, the area was shut down quickly and medical personnel came in. So it was not a situation where the public was in danger. At any time, if the public is in danger, our deputies will not allow activity to continue around that scene. They will close it down and evacuate the public to protect them. So the fact that people are moving around near us is a good indication that there is no longer a threat.
One other question. Was it a chase that led them to this spot? Because I know you said you had the report of the stolen vehicle. Had there been a pursuit prior to this?
I don't have that information at this time.
I think you might have already gone over it, but how did y'all encounter this? You said y'all followed them here, or they called y'all and y'all said y'all let it up here?
The Austin Police Department indicated to us that they were tracking a stolen vehicle that was coming into our jurisdiction. And so because they were tracking it, real-time information was coming in. And that's what gave our deputy a good indication of where to be looking.
Could you speak again on stealing cars seems to be a common thread. We've seen multiple incidents in Austin where they steal and come back. Just recently an affidavit where the guy tried to stop him, stole his car, was shot. So just how prevalent this is becoming, stealing cars?
I don't have the statistics to back up anything I would say, or quantify anything I would say, but just from anecdotal knowledge and experiential knowledge, auto theft is something that is common in our area, as is burglaries of vehicles, which is why we're constantly reminding the public to make sure that you don't have valuables sitting out in your vehicle, that you make sure that if you leave your vehicle and to take your weapon out of that vehicle with you, to make sure that you always lock your vehicle, because that's the easiest form of theft, is just to walk up and see if a door handle is unlocked and take whatever's inside. And theft of the actual vehicles is something that we see, but we also see vehicles that have been stolen that come through our jurisdiction. Either they were stolen in a different city or a different county, and we find out that they're in our jurisdiction. And we work together with other counties and other police departments to encounter and intercept those vehicles and make the arrests.
I guess, do we know at the moment if this stolen vehicle was linked to other things, making it something to stick out more than the standard stolen vehicle to lead to this?
I don't have that information, no.
Okay.
Good? Okay.
Yeah, I think we're good. I think we tried to squeeze everything.
And we have been listening to Kristen Dark. She is a spokesperson for the Travis County Sheriff's Office. We have a little bit more information about a shooting that involved a deputy that happened at a Randall's grocery store off FM 620. So we know that at 9:10 this morning, Austin police called Travis County Sheriff's Office, told them about a stolen vehicle that they were tracking and that it was going into Travis County's jurisdiction. Shortly after that, the deputy encountered a vehicle. Maybe it was a traffic stop. We don't know that at this point. A lot of questions. That's one of them. At least one shot was fired.
Right.
And the suspect ended up in the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
And a spokesperson, Dark, did not say, in fact, she quoted the fact that I'm not calling this an officer-involved shooting because we don't know yet. Part of the investigation, in fact, is that who fired the shot, but we do know that the suspect is the one in the hospital. She also said that the Texas Rangers are there taking the lead in this investigation.
Right, so we do know the deputy was unharmed. That person is doing okay. And she also mentioned vehicle theft, very common. So again, lots of suspects. We don't questions. We don't know if the suspect was armed.
Right.
We don't know if this was a traffic stop. Just that the deputy encountered that stolen vehicle off of FM 620 in that Randall's parking lot. You probably saw crime scene tape, so that will be up during the duration of this investigation, which takes several hours. Like you said, the lead investigative agency is Texas Rangers because there was a weapon discharge. We don't know who discharged that at this point. That's all part of the investigation.
Something that was really interesting, though, technology, they were tracking that stolen vehicle in real time, she said. That's how they knew exactly where to find once they left Austin's jurisdiction. She said that's how they were able to find the location. And at 9:10, they got the call. At 9:30, the deputy was already there in the parking lot at Randall's, right in front of the Steiner Ranch neighborhood. So perhaps technology, we'll find out exactly what happened. But the good news is the officer's okay, and the suspect is going to survive non-life-threatening injuries in the hospital.
No threat to the public. All right, and that is it. We'll have much more on this story coming up on KB News at 4. We'll return you to regular programming.